Hello, everybody. We are doing another Snarkfest as Marie had to get up and get a napkin. Today I just find it funny. I was like, okay, I'm going to start it, and all of a sudden, whoa! So,
yep.
Today we are doing Top Gun. You've seen this movie, yeah? I think everybody's seen this movie, probably. So, well, any expectations going in? Anything you want to? No.
Oh my God, it's been a while since I've seen this movie, so I don't even know.
Yeah. No, I will have a lot of stuff to say because I've been watching a lot of. I follow some like actual fighter pilots on Instagram and Facebook, and all these other sites. So I will have some stories to tell from that. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. So if everybody's ready, anybody watching, again, feel free if you want to join in. I think I have the chat set up. So if you want to chat on the Facebook page, I should be able to see it. So hopefully we can get quotey. So yeah, no, because I would love to be able to interact with people and actually have a big group of people watching these, but at the moment it's still kind of me and you flying by the seat of our pants. So I will let everybody get ready, and because you got pulled up. All right, everybody. Yep, it is on Hulu right now for free. It may be on Netflix, but yeah, if you want to watch this with us, get it loaded up. And in 3, 2, 1, play.
And of course, mine buffers a bit.
Was it slow? Mine started just fine. Are yours?
There's Paramount. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're good. Yep.
Hopefully, I'm not too far behind.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, we're never perfectly. Yeah, you literally said that the exact same moment it came up. So yeah, we're good.
Yes, it's probably the best we've ever synced first time.
I think so. Well, I mean, my mind just immediately goes back to when we did Miami Connection and how I'm raging about a scene, and then 2 minutes later, you guys see it.
That was so bad, and it really didn't help that the ads didn't line up either.
Yeah, I know.
Like one of us would have longer ads than the other.
Well, yeah, you had there were a couple of words you had a minute long, I would have 30 seconds, or vice versa. Top Gun, actually a real thing. Actually, or at least it was. I don't think it's still a thing anymore. Val Kilmer, which still shocks me. It's like Batman's in this movie.
No, Anthony Edwards. Dr. Green's in this movie.
Yep. He's Goose. So Michael Ironside, yeah. Which still, I'm all these guys. I'm like, what the hell? Why are you in this movie? You're too good to be in this movie. But granted, it is an amazing movie. So
it's 1989.
Granted, it's entirely propaganda. That's literally that is literally the only way I can describe this movie. It is propaganda to get people to join the Navy or the Air Force.
I mean, at least the school's in San Diego. It's a nice place.
Mm-hmm. And we get some good shots of the F-14 here, which is just the sports car of fighter planes. It is amazing. Which I don't know if you know anything about military aviation, but I'm a huge nerd for shit like that.
I got nothing.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law is in the Air Force. That's about all I got.
Yeah. Well, I do want to point out, if you just saw, they had the things raising up behind the fighters.
Yeah.
I've heard people ask, the reason for that is because, well, what's at the end of a fighter? A big freaking jet engine. So you put that up to make sure the crew doesn't get incinerated.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. And here we go to Kenny Loggins.
He wrote the soundtrack to the 80s, man.
Oh, hell yeah. Which I should mention, this is the first story I have. when Kenny Loggins was approached to do this movie, he was like, "Oh, we'll just do a stupid scene in the middle of the movie," because he didn't want to fight for the top slot, because it's just oh, every band wants that, so we'll just do a scene in the middle of the movie that no one wants. Well, the band they had up to do this, I think, was Ava. I could be mistaken about that, but for whatever reason, they had to drop out and they couldn't do it. So then it's like, well, now we need someone to do the theme song. Hey, Kenny Loggins, boom. So, yeah. And it should be mentioned, all of this is real footage taken on a real carrier. Those are real people. This is Hollywood. Yeah, they're on a carrier. I don't remember which carrier it is, but yeah.
I know they did a lot of filming like on location in San Diego, because when I was there for a Comic-Con, I actually went early once and did a tour, and like a good section of the tour was like, and here's the school where Top Gun was based on and filmed at, and I'm like, oh, okay. Here's the bar they go to. I'm like, cool.
I mean, granted, when you get to these interior shots here, these are Hollywood set. Why is that guy was sweating? The guy was clearly sweating.
Maybe they didn't have AC.
Apparently not. F5s, or I think they call them MiG-31s in this movie. I don't remember, but those are F5s, an actual fighter jet from the U.S.
Hey, it's Strickland.
Yep.
You're a slacker. You're a slacker, McFly.
Yep. And here, just a slow model. That's not actually. Yeah. This bugs me. You got they're flying with the mask off. You don't do that. And the mask is always on because that's where the air is coming from. The cockpit's not pressurized like that. So you have to have the mask on so you can breathe.
I bet they didn't know how to get the audio though with the mask on. I mean, I'm sure that's why they cheated.
Yeah, well, my assumption, I can't be positive, is just like, oh, this way our actors can, you see our actors and blah, blah, blah. That's, again, my guessing. I don't know, because a lot of, like, Independence Day did the exact same thing, so I couldn't tell you.
That's true, too. But it's a mix of wanting to see the actors and just getting better audio that way.
Mm-hmm. That too.
Not everyone is James Cameron and wants to have everything, be actually technically correct.
Yep. Looks like a single. This bugs me because the F-14's primary advantage was it carried long-range missiles that it would blow the enemy out of the sky before they were even a speck in the windshield. So I don't know why they have to get visual on them, but
drama.
So,
movie drama.
And now they got the mask on. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a knife fight range right there. I didn't hear what the. Yeah. You would have gotten them out a long time ago. Yeah, they said MiG of some kind. I didn't hear the number, but. Yes, and I also should mention the enemy in the sun, actual fighter tactics. Because if they're in the sun, well, now you can't see them. Well, they're not bogeys anymore. You've identified them. Military technology. A bogey is only if it's unidentified. The second you identify them, they're not bogeys anymore.
Would it be a tango then?
Yeah, or a hostile. I don't know what the exact terminology would be, but yeah. And this is something. It shouldn't take that long to lock on. It shouldn't go beep 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 lock. It should just be lock. Yeah.
Even with technology in 1989, it was that good?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So.
Or 86,
I don't. What this was made. because the F-14 came into service in the 76-ish. I don't remember what year it came into service, but yeah, even then they had missiles that would lock on well outside of sight range, and heat-seeking missiles still. Here.
Okay.
That MiG is in gun range. That is you would never fire a missile that close because the missile would kill you too. So if you were granted, you wouldn't even shoot your gun at that point because it's so close. You'd literally have better luck opening your cockpit and pulling out a pistol because they're so close. Yeah. Well, look how close they are. They are literally
really close.
Like I said, you can spit and hit them. So, although I don't think that would actually be too good of an idea. Okay, Commander, I'm gonna hop a loogie at the enemy here. Yeah. And no way those planes could actually get that close, but whatever. Yeah. Although I'm very curious, why does Wizzo have a camera?
What?
Wizzo is the backseat is the guy in the backseat. They're called Wizzos or Rios.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what job they hold. I do know that in actual dogfighting, they're not doing too much. So I'm not sure because I think from what I understand, again, don't quote me, I'm not a pilot. I've never flown anything like this. But from what I understand, they're more like, okay, here's what we need, calling the shots of the mission versus actually doing anything. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure the Wizzo can take control of the plane if the pilot just panics. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that again. I'm not positive, but I think they have a backup control stick for if the pilot gets incapacitated in some way. Why are you sweating so much? My God. Yeah. Where's it? AC was invented back then. Why would?
Just because it was invented doesn't mean the army is going to pay to actually have it installed.
Fair enough. Oh, I should mention the F-14 is a variable wing. So if you're watching the movie, you'll see the wings are sometimes back and sometimes they're forward. That's how it was designed. When the wings are back like that, that means it's going fast. If the wings are forward, it's going more slow speed. So again, military freak here. I love the planes. So. Yeah. Also, you wouldn't have your name. They don't have the names of the pilots on the planes. I think it's like they have the flight squadron and the flight leader, but they're not. You don't have your individual names. So, great. And also, why doesn't he have someone else he can talk to instead of a pilot? Why does Maverick have to go back and get him? Why can't they just have him talk to someone on the boat?
Yeah, if you have radio contact with anyone on the ground, I don't see why you would need someone in the air with you.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, he'd be getting waved off. They would be going, no. Yeah, the boat would be going, no, wave off, turn around, come again, because you can't land like that.
You can't land while being all loosey goosey.
Well,
looking like a ski.
Well, look how that plane is swaying back and forth.
I know. How do you even do that? I feel like that would that's one of those things that's probably harder to actually fly to make it do that.
Yeah, I do know that some people did tragically lose their lives because they were piloting, doing something. I don't know if it was doing that or a later scene, but because doing shit like that is very difficult, two pilots did actually end up losing their lives in the making of this movie.
Holy crap.
So, yeah. Also, I should probably mention, like I said, I do follow a lot of actual military fighter pilots. And the most common question they're ever asked is, how do you get your call sign? Reality, you don't get these cool call signs like Maverick or anything. No, 9 times out of 10, it's a play off your name, or because basically what happens is they take a pic. The pilots you join into will get a picture of you, and they literally roast you, and it's so they're making fun of you, and then whatever sticks out happens to be your name. The only exception is if you did something very stupid in training, in which case then you get that name. One great example I know of is a fighter pilot. He ended up shooting a gun on he fired the gun on the plane when he wasn't supposed to, and for the rest of his life he was known as Trigger because of that. So yeah. Yeah, and here we get they are sweating so much. My God, can they at least get a fan? Because my God, they are sweating bullets. Oh man. And this is something Navy fighter pilots, the most arrogant pricks I've ever heard of. I've heard so many stories about how Navy pilots are just the most insufferable bad words that you will ever meet. Yeah. So. And you just still, they're like, try not to smile, don't smile when they get chewed out, but still.
Would he even be allowed to have a mustache with the masks that they have to wear?
I don't actually know. I'm not positive. I've never asked anybody that question. Miramar, California, actual place. Although, what it was once controlled by the Navy and it is now controlled by the Air Force, or it could have that vice versa. So now I'm like, who was in control of this at this time? Oh, actual gunfight. Yeah. That's real footage taken during a Libyan conflict, I believe.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah. Just every time I see Val Kilmer, I can only think of Batman. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's pretty fair. It was the first I saw him in too, so.
Yeah. Again, you don't get the cool call sign, no. Plus, a Viper is the F-16, so I don't think they'd ever have someone with that name.
Plan these 2 combat missions today, with classes in between.
So, plus, I don't think they actually have these big, comfortable-looking chairs. I think they're actually like more folding chairs. Again, never been to Top Gun, don't know. That's my guess.
Yeah, I've never been to any type of class that had big, comfy chairs like that. It's always the most uncomfortable things you can think of.
Yeah,
like they're like couches. Look at that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, just kiss you too. Gosh. Giving each other lovely guys there.
Some of you wonder.
Although, if I remember correctly, I think Anthony Edwards, the Dr. Green, I think you call it, the ER doctor. I don't know who he played. I didn't watch ER. I think he's actually too tall to be a fighter pilot, if I remember correctly. I didn't watch ER. I'm sorry.
No, I was laughing at him being too tall to be a fighter pilot.
I do know that they actually got all the actors. So everybody here, they actually got to ride in an F-14 for just because that was kind of like the conditions. Like, it's like, yeah, we'll be in this movie if we can be in the F-14. Because like I said, it is the sports car of planes, even though it's not in service in the United States anymore. The only country I think it still serves in is Iran.
Black for the alternates down in the ladies' room.
I can't believe you didn't watch ER. I really just watched ER. Oh my god, what was I even talking about? Reruns during school.
Oh gosh. And hello, 80s ladies.
Heck yeah. It's always a bar near the base, right?
Of course. Oh man.
Want to know who the best is? Yeah, my snack.
This looks like a really, from what, again, I've never was in the military. From what I understand, most of the bars are not like this high class. They're more just corner bars that are in the middle of nowhere. So this looks like something. Yeah.
Well, the list is long but distinguished. Include my Johnson. Along with Iceman, Mr. Iceman to you.
Oh,
hey,
gosh.
Congratulations on Top Gun. Thank you. Sorry to hear about Cooter. You know what our brothers in flight school. He's a good man. He likes a good man. That's what I meant. If you need any help.
Like the same year, I'm pretty sure the same year that this movie came out, Legend also came out. It's just so funny to think that Tom Cruise went from that goofy ass movie to this within months.
Yeah. Well, but then you gotta remember, like, not too long after this, he did Mission Impossible 2, which is just ego stroke movie, period.
Yeah.
That's the only way to describe that movie. So. Oh man. They were abused children. Thank you. Oh man. Oh god, and lady. I do know that there are women who do go to military bases like this and just flirt around. So
I don't
think she would be. I don't think the Top Gun instructor would be there. But
no, that seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah. Oh god, I forgot. I thought this scene was later, but no, apparently it's now. He's done this before?
Apparently.
And apparently they just have karaoke set up because.
Never close your eyes anymore when I kiss you.
They just have karaoke set up. My gosh.
You're trying hard not to show it.
How did everyone get in on it?
Everybody gets in on it.
Like, this is a good song, don't get me wrong, but it's not the kind of song that a whole bar is going to start joining you in on.
I do know that some squadrons, if there's like one single guy, the entire squadron will go to a bar with that one guy and do shit like this. but very rarely is it no one you ever know. It's more like I said, it's the squadron that you've been flying with that you
like
know.
they just had their first class, right? And he's new. Like how?
Yeah, like I said, there's no way that would happen in the premise of the movie. But like I said, if it were like, if
it was like a more well-known song that like everyone would, fine. But that is not one of those songs.
Yeah.
Like if it was my girl,
please,
or Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
Just trying to hit on her.
Granted, I'm not exactly. My romantic life is not exactly one of success, let's put it that way. So I really can't comment on that, but. Yeah. Oh, man. Are you? She's playing this stupid, dumb blonde so well, considering what role she plays in the later.
Well, that's the whole point, right? She wants to make him feel stupid whenever she meets him later.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah, good job. Yeah. And now I realize it. Was that ever a thing where they'd have big, a bathroom with 2 doors saying ladies' room?
It depends. Like maybe like a locker room at like some kind of rec place. Maybe. Like
I don't
looks like it's in some kind of weird building, so it's possible.
I don't go out too often. I stay pretty much in South Dakota. The only exception is when I go out to Colorado. So I've never seen anything like this. So it just seems really out of place. So I don't know.
It is weird. Like again, the only time I've seen double doors like this is at locker rooms at like a gym or something.
Okay.
You typically don't have a giant entrance to a bathroom.
Yeah. I do love that. Your friend was magnificent. This is more like it, where they got actual folding chairs, although I don't think they'd actually be having their class on the runway. And now you realize you regret every single life choice you've ever made.
I like how nobody else recognizes her as the girl they just sang to, though, because they were all singing to her last night.
Yeah, only Maverick and Goose are like, everybody else is just, okay, she's a...
Like, the guy behind Maverick was singing to her, like, took over the microphone when he stopped.
Yeah. So.
Look, and now he's not even listening to her.
Yeah, pay attention, dumbass. Oh, God. What's this with the guy in the cowboy hat?
Obviously he's from Texas, because all Texans wear cowboy hats all the time.
You're not wearing a cowboy hat.
I'm not a true Texan.
Although I was seriously hoping when I said you're not from Texas, like a Texas hat, like you would just grab a Texas hat from nowhere, or your husband would just put one on your head.
I'm not that good.
I honestly, had that happened, I would have died laughing. That would have been amazing. god! And the single most memed freaking part of this movie, because I was inverted.
May 28th. Yes, ma'am. At what grade?
4G inverted dive. That would mean all the blood's rushing to your head. Yeah, I don't think people can survive that.
What were you doing there?
Communicate. Yeah. Mind you, I'm pretty sure she would have gotten a debriefing of what every pilot had done. Show them the picture you took, asshole.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking too. I'm like, what?
We'll have to take. Oh boy. Oh, I should mention they just said there's no engagement below 5,000 feet. There's a. I'll get it. Actually, I'll get into it later. Getting into it now would kind of spoil it, so I'll get into it later. But yeah, you're in trouble, buddy.
I'm an instructor at the school. 20 new flashlights and techniques. Now, I'm sure you can figure that out. Look,
Yeah.
I just don't like to get
And we do need to point out
Tom Cruise,
very short individual. So
yeah,
a lot of these.
Is he even 5'5"
What's up?
or is he like 5'2"?
Yeah, he's short. He's a tiny guy.
I know he is.
So a lot of these shots are like forced perspective, because I remember that there are some scenes where he's literally standing on a box to make himself look. Yeah, because he's not very tall.
He's 5'7".
But yeah,
Which is
I'm over
actually
6 feet tall, so
taller
he's
than I thought
tiny.
he was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like maybe average for a guy, but yeah, it's on the
Ah,
short
you're
side.
dumping fuel. I'm not sure if you just saw the F-14 with the big smoke cloud. That's just dumping fuel. That's all you did.
But it looked so cool.
Yeah, it looks cool, but all you're doing, it's just a waste. I'm sorry. Oh, God. So, I don't remember what... That looks way below 5,000 feet. They said the ground was 5,000 feet, so that looks way too low. They should be higher than that.
Yeah.
And I forget, I think that's an A5, I'm not positive, is the plane that Jester's flying. Yeah, they're way too low. Granted, good shots, but still. Yeah. If you have to watch the mountains, you are clearly too low. Yeah. And here, a lot of this is just, yeah, you'd have a lock on by now. And also, this part coming up here, hitting the brakes, doesn't actually work. Your plane doesn't cobra like that unless you're going at a very slow speed. If you're going very fast, what happens is your plane goes that way. You don't just kind of tilt up and the other guys go by you. No, you fly that way. Yeah. Oh my god, they're so low. My gosh. Yeah, you're chasing him. Of course you're gonna go vertical if he goes. Yeah, okay, here. He just said they're going for the hot deck. If that actually happened, it would be counted as a ground kill, meaning the trainer would be considered to have run into the ground. Because, like they said, they had the ground hard deck at 5,000 feet. That's for safety purposes. So the engagement doesn't just
Yeah.
magically end if he goes below 5,000 feet. It means, oh, he crashed, you pass. So
cool.
Yeah, no, that's entirely for safety purposes. So there's no way that Jester would go, oh, I'm going to go for the hard deck to make it to end the lesson. No, you would count as a ground kill then. Also, if you're gonna buzz the tower and get told not to, you get in trouble. A lot of trouble. Oh, VIP coffee cup out there. Yeah. Oh, that would hurt. Oh, hot coffee. That would hurt.
That would hurt.
That would hurt a lot. Oh, jeez. Oh, man. And why are there so many people naked there?
Because they're in a locker room.
You would take off the flight suit, you would take off the G suit, but you wouldn't get naked.
Maybe they want to shower and rinse off whatever. I don't know.
There are separate rooms. This is the flight room where you have your flight gear, not the actual room where you get dressed and shower and shit.
But how else am I supposed to see the shirtless guys if they're not actually supposed to be in that room?
There you go. So this scene is clearly for the female. And that is just.
Well, guys had to convince their girlfriends to go with them somehow. You
enough.
might see a shirtless Tom Cruise. Good enough for me.
They have a full freaking volleyball scene later in the movie.
Yes.
Note to self. Oh, this poor bastard. Gets coffee all over him again.
He just changed shirts. Felt bad for the guy carrying the coffee that time.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, there's a fan in the background. Oh yeah, they have a fan there, right there with them. They're still sweating. So yeah, this entire thing wouldn't be it'd be happening, but again, it'd be, you went below the hard deck. You crashed your plane, so they did nothing wrong. And he's so nervous. I dislike this take because he's so nervous. I don't know if it's like nerves, but he should just be bam, bam, bam. Again, Navy pilots are the most arrogant bastards I've ever met in my life. Yeah, circus stunt fly. Yeah. I don't know if that'd be grounds for disqualification from Top Gun, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did. That's a small office.
Yeah, it is.
Granted, it'd be a lot bigger if he didn't have all his shit there, but. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. His old man apparently was a pilot too.
Sounds like it.
Granted, that's a common movie trope of your father or your mother was always doing something that very important that you are now doing.
Yep. That's what everyone does, right? Is just do the same thing their parents did. Wait a minute. I work at the same company my dad did. I'm a movie trope. I don't do the same thing he did, though.
Fair enough.
I don't do anything like
I worked for my dad for a few years, but I don't anymore because I didn't like it.
My
older brother.
Yeah.
My older brother works with my older brother works with my dad, and my younger brother works with my mom. I'm the oddball out. Granted, I didn't want to take after my parents, but I didn't want to do what my parents did. Let me put that. I didn't mean to. Yeah.
My mom was a teacher, and at one point I thought I wanted to be one too, and she was like, "No, you don't." My mom wasn't letting anybody follow in her footsteps.
I have friends who say I'd be a good history teacher. I don't think I could because just remember how I was in high school. Remember, I was not a good kid. I don't see myself being a good teacher. Because I don't know. Maybe, I just think about all the stupid shit I did in high school. Oh,
what'd you
man.
do as a teacher?
What?
It's not like you're going to do the same stupid shit as a teacher. The teacher would probably just stand there and just talk about history. That's what my history teacher did anyway.
Fair enough. Granted, I'm also very easy to distract, so all someone would have to do is go, "Hey, Star Wars," and I'd completely lose track.
My history teacher once spent a whole day talking about Star Wars because he had gone to a convention with the science teacher.
I'd do that. I would do that.
He was saying how he had met the actor that played Chewbacca, and this was 15 years ago, before cons were everywhere and cool. So they had traveled pretty far to go to whatever con they went to.
Yeah. No, I mean, even back then with Star Wars, it was, because a lot of people think movies now are, every theater gets them. Back then, when Star Wars came out, it was this one theater in the entire city of Los Angeles had Star Wars.
Well, I mean, we went to a convention. When did I have them? It would have been 2000. It was between it was when the prequels were out. So it was actually kind of relevant. But whatever convention it was the annual Star Wars convention, and I think it was in Indiana or something, and we lived in Pennsylvania. So, but yeah, he spent a whole day talking about it at class once. Whatever. Spent another day just talking about the history of coins because he was a coin collector. Whatever.
Here you go.
Yes! Okay. This is why I'm watching this movie.
Oh, you mean you're not watching it for the story?
I don't even know what the story is. He's flying planes. What more is there? Yeah. He's probably going to meet some girl. Wait, he did meet a girl, and they're going to date, right?
Yeah.
Man, this whole movie is Kenny Loggins. Why are they?
Yeah, this is Kenny Loggins.
Do recreational sport like this with their dog tags on?
I don't think they're playing with their dog tags, but. Oh gosh. I'm just curious, was this they just were playing, volleyball for the heck of it, and they just it just happened to get in the movie? Or was it scripted that they're actually going to play volleyball?
It's probably scripted.
Most likely. Especially considering the age the movie came out in, but. One more game? Come on, dude. He's on his bike again without his helmet. Oh, God.
Got a little Berlin going on. Oh, he's going to talk to the girl.
Yep. I'm pretty sure he'd get reprimanded for not wearing a helmet.
Not if it wasn't the law.
Uh,
It may not have been back then.
I couldn't tell you. This is creepy, dude. She's your teacher.
And he's just walking around her house trying to.
Door wide open.
Yeah, seriously, like the wind is blowing it. That is a terrible screen door. And it's got a hole in the screen.
Oh my God, yeah. That's a big hole. That dog could fit through that hole. Come on.
That's probably how that hole got there.
We'll go outside. Grant, I know a lot of dogs who will do that. What kind of dogs do you have? You got big dogs?
Yeah, I've got one who's a half boxer that's probably about 65 pounds. And then I don't know what the other one is, but she's a little smaller. She's only about 40 pounds.
A half boxer is, a half boxer. Yeah, that's kind of, if you were giving him a walk and that dog were to decide, I want to go here, you're going to go there.
Yeah.
What you want to do.
That's definitely true.
Dogs are, a lot of people don't understand how powerful dogs can be. Even small dogs can be pretty dang tough.
Yeah. Does she have a parrot?
Yep, or a parakeet of some kind. Yeah, a bird. I don't have.
I don't know birds either.
I have a very select knowledge base. Birds are not one of them. Well, it just reminds me, like a while ago, there was a meme going around of like, if you could type, what would if you had a book, what would this chapter of your life be called? And one of mine was, I'm a professional, just not at this. And this is
why did I take his unibrow?
What?
He has all these close-ups, and I don't understand why nobody in makeup did anything about his unibrow.
I'm a guy. I don't know this stuff.
Look, it's tamed here.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Maybe.
Well, you do realize I'm going to spend the rest of the movie looking like, okay, did he?
No, it definitely looks better here than it did in the previous scene.
I don't see. There is a little bit of, but it's not horrible.
No, it was really noticeable in one of the cuts leading up to that.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the quality, like high def.
Oh yeah, there's bad. There's bad.
Yeah, I'm sure you couldn't tell that bad with the movie quality of 1986.
Yeah. Yeah. You saying that? Yeah, it's pretty bad here as compared to what it was.
Yeah, because you can notice it now.
Yeah.
Oh, is he giving backstory about his dad or something?
Yeah, backstory about his dad, I think. I've never actually known. I do got to mention. I've never known Tom Cruise to have a unibrow, though. Now that you say that, every time I see him, that's all he's going to be able to say.
He also only has one front tooth.
Oh, I knew that.
Okay.
No, my Kendra pointed that out to me a long time ago, but when we were snarking, I forget what movie it was, but I don't think it was Mission Impossible. It's not lucky now. It was one of his later movies. Yeah, oh my gosh, it is really bad there. Can't be complicated. You're his teacher! Oh my gosh.
Don't you have pockets on your shirts?
Nobody does. It creates a
I have some shirts that have pockets in them, and that's just.
I bought a packet of undershirts from Walmart to paint, and they had pockets on them.
Yeah. A lot of like my old shirts had pockets in them, and I would use them. I do have a few shirts lying around that have pockets in them, and granted, I use them to paint. Like when I did my face paint.
Yeah. I'm sure if you're wearing a t-shirt with a pocket on it, you're not actually using it as an undershirt. Because I can see how that would make an awkward outline underneath your nicer button down. Yeah. Using it to like paint or do housework or something makes sense because then you can put like your pens and whatever else you need.
Well, when I worked pizza delivery, that's what I would always do with the tickets I'd have. It's like, okay, I need this delivery. Okay, in the pocket. So. Your MIG sighting is really important to your work. Then why don't you call his commanding officer and get the shit from him?
Well, because she did want to get to know him. Like, clearly, she's asking him for it because she thinks he's cute, too. But now she's beginning to realize this is probably unprofessional. And she's trying to break it off. But he's making it hard by being almost shirtless and wet.
Okay, let's face it, he's making it hard because he's Tom fucking Cruise.
I mean, there's that too.
It's hot until you realize he's only 5'2".
He's 5'7". Looked it up. See, my husband also thought he was only 5.
He's gonna have to talk to HR about this. This is clearly sexual harassment right here.
She likes it. It's not sexual harassment. I saw it in her eyes.
Oh, man.
I've only seen him as Dr. Green and in this movie. And, let's see him. What else?
This is where he meets his wife and kid, I believe. Yep.
Aww.
Although that's something I think.
I knew that.
I do know that, a lot, like when pilots meet their kid, but I think it'd be you go to the kid first before you go to your wife. Not because it's like, oh, you just like your wife or anything, just because the kid is a lot more.
Yeah, you'd think the kid would like let go of mom and run up to him or something, right?
Yeah. Well, it reminds me, because like I said, I've done food service. We would, kid gets food first. Always give the kid the food first.
That makes sense.
Kids are not exactly emotionally stable. The parents can, wait that extra 5 seconds.
Yep.
So, great. I know of some restaurants where it's like they will literally have like little like cookies and stuff. Where it's like, oh, you sit down, you order, they give the kid the cookie just so they have something to munch on before they actually get their food.
I've never been to a place like that.
I've worked there. Granted, I should mention, I think that was more like what the boss said, we're going to do this versus an actual company policy, but still.
Okay.
I like my explanation. We live in the hood. We're so gangster.
You were never wearing glasses before. Why are you wearing them now?
Because now she's trying to read things.
She's Ellen McGillis. She was hot in the 80s.
These people are sweating so much except for her. Everybody's sweating except for the girl.
She's got the aide that's like constantly dabbing the sweat off her face between takes. The rest of them don't.
Just off screen. Okay, get talented.
No, there's legit probably someone doing that.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, now she's mad at him. Dude. Dude. Okay, now you're just being an asshole.
Yeah.
Now you're just being an asshole.
Well, it kind of always was, right?
Fair point.
I mean, to be fair, that's how we treated women.
Oh, dude.
Wow, she's
Oh my god!
I don't think she's any better if she's driving like that.
One over.
Is that right?
He's right. I'd like something back. That's some real genius in your flying mouth, but I can't say that in there. I was afraid that everyone in that caption would see right through me. I just don't want anyone to know that.
That was so cheesy.
Yes.
some great movie, though.
I'm sorry I made fun of you in front of all the guys, but if I didn't, then they would know that I'm playing favorites.
They would know we're sleeping together, which is illegal.
Oh my gosh.
She's his CO.
No, she's a civilian.
Oh, she's a civilian.
Yeah.
They did say she is a civilian.
They made that very clear during her entrance.
That's all fun.
Is this movie PG-13 or
Oh
is it
my
R?
It's PG.
I think it's PG-13.
Doubtful.
Oh my gosh.
Truth be told, the odds are against seeing boob here.
But you are seeing a lot of tongue.
Yeah,
So
you
much-
see a lot of.
So much.
La 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 la.
Excuse me while I throw myself entirely down your throat.
I don't know. She was trying to do it back to him.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man kiss?
No, that's where they're upside down.
Yeah, but did you see the amount of tongue in that one, too?
That's
She
true.
swallowed his chin
He also couldn't breathe.
in real life.
Yeah, because the mask was up against his nose. Like, he legit couldn't breathe when they were kissing.
That had to be an interesting kiss with Kirsten Dunst.
Yeah, no. Tobey Maguire said it was awful.
So take your breath away, quite literally. Okay, this is a Navy thing because the Air Force would actually drive you up to your plane on a cart. The Navy, you have to walk.
I mean, the Air Force, they're just so, right? They're babied. Like, God forbid they get their fingers dirty in the Air Force.
Well, I mean, that's another meme I've seen is like when you're getting recruited, it's like the Army, it's like, no, you go, the Marines, you go, Navy, you go, the Air Force. Okay, we're setting you up in this nice hotel.
Yep. If the Air Force like stays on an Army base, they get hazard pay.
Yep. That is legit.
Yeah. I got this out together. They're in perfect firing position right now. And clearly way below 5,000 feet. Yep, break off.
Yeah, this is the most ridiculous scene ever. You went under 5,000 feet.
No, we already saw that one, babe. Yeah.
I should mention what in this situation, what the Wizzo's doing, the guy in the back, he'd be looking around, making sure nothing's coming up behind you. While the pilot's focused on
doing that.
yeah, because that's one thing of when you're flying, you kind of get tunnel vision when you need to have your head on a swivel. So in these situations, the Wizzo would kind of be be looking around, seeing someone no there'd be the ones again. You're just dropping fuel. Gosh, so much.
So cool.
It's such a waste. I'm sorry. And here they're going after Viper. And the afterburner's glowing, so that means wasting more fuel. Oh, man. I should also clarify, if you ever see the flames coming out of the jet engines, that means the afterburners are on. Normally, you don't see that.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have him unlocked now. Sidewinders are heat-seeking missiles. All they go is, hot, go!
It's like a video game, clearly.
Granted, with how close they are, it's also, you'd be shooting them with your gun.
Yeah, I don't know.
And they love the aileron rolls. Bug me so much because you're not going anywhere. If you're just spinning around, meaning it's like, oh well, I'm still aiming at you. You haven't dodged at me. Hey, Goose, why aren't you looking behind you? Yeah, that's what you should have been doing all the time. No, because you had some bad communication. Why weren't you talking to the other plane? You had another plane with you. Why weren't you talking with him? Why didn't he say, "Okay, I am now"?
They don't need help. You said it yourselves. They all have big egos. Never would leave your wingman.
Yeah.
You'd think he of all people would do that.
There is something coming up, and where I'm going to have to contradict that, but. Thank you. Yep. And see, this is like actual, like, legit. By the way, this is real. I'm giving you a fucking lesson. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to fly with you.
And then the ambulance is so much taller than him. It's like me standing next to your sister.
Also shirtless guys for you.
And they're all in nice shape, too. September 65. Aw, look at the little baby Tom Cruise.
I wonder if that's actually a picture of Tom Cruise and his dad, or if it was made up for the movie.
Probably made up for the movie.
I would assume, but I don't know what Tom Cruise's dad did. Here we go.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Why is Tom Cruise all like cuddled up with Goose's wife and not his girlfriend?
That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out too. I mean, granted, they did set up that these two are they are friends, so I'm not against it, but it is a little creepy. They are pretty close. Oh man.
You know, I've known Pete for a lot of years.
Oh, man. What's it for certain? She's got an accent. Couldn't tell you where it's from, but
He is 100% prime time in love. That's me, honey.
oh my god. He's sweating. The kids now.
There's no way he's playing with her on his lap.
Yeah.
Meg Ryan plays like 12 times in this movie.
No, do you know how hard it would be to play the piano with your arms around someone? Like,
well, I don't know how to play piano.
Or like, I wouldn't be able to do it, but I have short arms.
Well, I've never played piano, so I can't really comment on that. But I can comment on I play a lot of computer games. I played a lot of League of Legends. I've had times where if my mouse is not in the right spot or my keyboard is like an inch too high, it freaks me the freak out. So,
well, I mean, with a piano, the keys aren't going to move like that. It's just only like people. I just don't think Goose is like. Obviously, he's not a professional piano player. Therefore, I can't see him being good enough to keep playing with something in his way.
Yeah.
Man, I did not realize how often this song is played.
And they're always taking off in sequence.
It's literally like it's this, and then that there was briefly a different Kenny Loggins song, and then there was "Take My Breath Away."
Yeah.
Then again, I guess. Yeah, the only other movie that I remember being this bad about using the same song was The Graduate. Because, good lord, it was just Mrs. Robinson the entire time.
Although, granted, like you said earlier, it's kind of like the soundtrack for the 80s, so.
Well, Kenny Loggins wrote the soundtrack of the 80s. Like, he has this movie, he has soundtrack.
Footloose, yeah.
Back Footloose.
And, those three planes would be dead by now. It'd just be lock fire. Okay, you're all dead. That's you'd get docked points for cutting off your ally because that's very dangerous. Yeah, again, you're spitting distance. Of course, yeah. Again, if you fired a missile that close, you kill yourself. And I do know Iceman would be getting knocked here because Maverick had a firing angle. Iceman blocked it. So Iceman would be getting docked points because you're preventing the enemy from being killed. Yeah. And here, this is the other where I mentioned where like a pilot died. This is the other scene where I think it could have happened because they actually put a F-14 into a freaking dead spin.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I gotta look it up.
Well, the F-16.
Yeah, and yeah, see, that's a real F-14 in a real spin, so...
Just for a couple seconds of a shot. Really, they couldn't make a model and just spin it?
You would think, but... yeah. Oh, this is another thing that bugs me that's coming up here. Notice how the canopy went up and back, and then all of a sudden it's right above them.
Yeah.
Those canopies are designed when they're blown, they go up and back because the designers had enough foresight to know it'd be a very bad idea to have your pilot's head go right up into that. Also, I'm not sure if you've been looking at the chairs, but the chairs are actually up to here, and also to prevent that. So this happening, very, 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 very unlikely.
Or impossible.
Yeah. No, like I said, if that were to actually happen, the canopy would hit the chair. If there for whatever reason the canopy didn't break off properly, it would hit the chair, not your head. So, also this part coming up here, this is the part where Kendra always like freaked the fuck out because she was in training to be like pararescue and shit like that. So I'm gonna wait for the actual scene, but they would send down a basket. So and they would obviously get the broken guy first. I mean, obviously because you want to get him up first because
Right.
you don't know if he's dead or not. So but
You wouldn't just post him up like this?
They wouldn't pull up his limp ass body like that.
No. I was like,
they
limited like safety training I've had for stuff like this. Like if you find someone like that, you don't move them because you don't know what's broken. You want to keep them as still as possible. That seems like a terrible idea even to me.
Yeah, for real Navy divers.
You have them in a basket. And there's a scene in his tighty whities for you there.
Oh man, tighty whities aren't that sexy.
Boxer briefs are the way to go these days.
Oh, Wolfwood, that's so nice.
I'm not. My romantic experience was primarily with one girl, and we never did anything because we're super religious. So I'm not exactly the guy to ask about what's sexy or not.
What? That is not Dazzy.
I'm sorry. My dog just brought his stuffed animal over, set the animal on the cat, and then started to mouth the cat.
Well, that reminds me a while ago. One of my friends, they have a dog, but they got a stuffed animal that looked just like their cat, and the dog is just ripping up the stuffed animal that looks just like the cat, and the cat is just like in the corner, clearly having a panic attack.
No, my dog, he has a stuffed toy of the Tasmanian devil. It's like his favorite thing.
She wants to play with the cat.
Yeah. And her favorite thing to do is to aggravate the other dog by taking her stuffed animal and like shoving it in his face. But she's doing that with the cat right now.
She wants the cat to chase her.
Yeah, the cat.
So the dog's just being a jackass to the cat. Granted, I do know plenty of times where cats will be jackasses to dogs. So.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that definitely happens too.
A great example. When I was growing up, my family had a cat and a dog. When we got the dog, it was still being, trained, so we'd lock him in the kennel for the night, and the cat would just like sit outside. Oh, I'm so free, and just walk around the outside of the kennel. Oh my god, the dog is so pissed.
Our cats will fucking do
Oh man, somebody was making comments. Apparently, you don't.
They made them a while ago. I noticed, but I don't see who it was.
It doesn't say.
It just says Facebook user. I'm sorry. So I would have mentioned it, but by the time I noticed, there was 10 minutes past. So I didn't bring it up because I didn't know if they were still watching, unfortunately. So it's kind of hard because I want to watch the movie, but to look at the chat, I have to look down over here, which is completely.
Ow. See, I just have mine in front of the TV. Maybe in the future, you should get the little name tag thingy up and then have it list what movie we're watching, though, so that when people pop in. I know.
When I figure out how to do that, I'll do that. I don't know how to use this site. I know how to start it and edit it blankly, but it is in the title. It is. I do have it in the title of Top Gun Snarkfest.
Okay.
So yeah, and clearly having a complete breakdown. Which
is that where they take class? Look at those chairs.
Yeah.
Like oh no, that's like a living room or like a break room. There's a TV.
Yeah. And I hate watching these scenes like this because I've lost someone that I loved with all my heart. So even in the most cheesy, stupid movie, scenes like that always hit me because I've experienced it.
Damn.
So that's why I'm like, we're gonna stick away from like actual tragic movies, because in some movies I will just break down crying. There are some movies I just cannot watch.
No, it's no fun snarking on tragedies anyway. It's fine.
So, although is that Anthony's real wife, or is that like an actress?
No, he's not married to Meg Ryan.
Okay, that's Meg Ryan. That's Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Oh my god!
I said that when she first came in. I'm like, holy crap! Goose is married to Meg Ryan.
You're kidding? No way.
Know this?
No way.
Yeah.
Promise it's Meg Ryan, bro.
It's Meg Ryan,
Promise.
dude.
Holy shit! It is. Freaking hell.
Yeah, following Anthony here, she ended up with twice. I think after that, she ended up with Nick Cage for like a day before she died. City of Angels.
No. I never saw that one. I only wanted to because of the Goo Goo Dolls song.
Flying. I know what the reason they do that is, because a lot of times you just don't want them thinking about it. You don't want them to, focus on something else.
Right.
But there's also the point of, if they're not there, they ain't there, no matter what.
Yeah.
So this scene here, where apparently they had a backup Wizzo. What's Sundown? Apparently, again, what happened to Sundown's original pilot? Couldn't tell you. Yeah. So something like this happened, they'd probably take you off the schedule because you're clearly not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I like his helmet though. The Sundown's helmet. That's kind of cool. It's great. It's kind of the Japanese attack flag. But yeah, you'd be pulled off for this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, granted, no one would be like getting. I mean, everybody would know what happened, and no one would be doing pushing him. And here, again, no, I don't think. I think they would pull him from detail just because he's clearly not there. His head is not in the game.
Yeah.
Granted, I don't know what the actual military. I think I would think they'd be like, give him like a week or whatever. And here, Iceman being an actual human. Granted, have you seen the Amazing Spider-Man movie?
Yeah.
Nope.
Oh,
Yep.
The live,
The Amazing with Andrew Garfield.
like the live action.
The first one.
Yeah, I've seen it.
No, with Andrew
Yeah,
Garfield, the first one. Yeah. No, where the bully comes up and apologizes. I like scenes like that because how evil do you have to be for someone to lose their best friend or a loved one in some way, and then you to come up and start making fun of them for that? So I do like it when where the bully or the antagonist is where they're shown that I'm not your ally, but I'm not a complete prick and a jackass.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of a World War II story where the Allies were complete pricks and jackasses. In World War II, there was I think it was a pilot who was shot down, and he had a prosthetic leg. But when he was shot down, the leg was damaged. But the Germans just liked this guy so much that they sent a message to the Allies saying, "Hey, we will let you fly this guy a prosthetic leg, and we won't have anybody shooting at you this time. So just send one plane to drop the prosthetic leg." Well, the Allies did do that, but they didn't just send one plane. They sent a bunch of them, and they also bombed some cities. It's like, oh gosh, you guys are pricks. Granted, that was kind of under the order of Bomber Harris, who was, I would argue, a war criminal. So,
At the same time,
Chicago on the jacket there.
sad thing to me. Like the Russians. It's all very convoluted.
Wouldn't they have an actual therapist talking to him?
Yes. Well, Jacob, it is the 80s.
Yeah, it is 1986.
Fair.
I mean, like, these days I definitely would, but
Yeah. Now, Mach 2, can the F-14 fly? I don't think the F-14 can hit Mach 2.
I think it's a hyperbole.
I know.
It's being like,
Yeah, I that's fair enough. It's just that's nitpicky detail. Sorry.
It went 1.4.
Yeah.
Top speed was Mach
1.4. Okay. That would make sense. Yeah. Yep.
you're a quitter, Maverick.
Yeah. Oh, look at that unibrow right there. Holy cow. That's a bad one.
Yeah.
Yep.
She always has.
I don't know why they didn't just wax it.
They do later in the 90s when it becomes the. This is the 80s. Nobody gave a shit. Tom Cruise. Nobody cared. Days of Thunder. People cared.
Interview with the Vampire.
People really cared.
Yeah, they did.
I've never actually watched an Interview with a Vampire.
It's actually a good movie.
It is the reason why we have Twilight.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
It is what made vampire sexy.
No.
Yes. The aristocratic, fancy pants, sexy
No,
vampire.
that's actually Bram Stoker.
No.
Yes.
In Bram Stoker's Vampire, it is kind of set up that the vampires are supposed to be sexy, but granted, you don't really encounter Dracula that often in Bram Stoker's. So
It's been a while. I didn't like the movie. The book was really boring.
Bram Stoker's?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid. But Dracula was a sexy dude.
He had hypnosis.
Yeah, but he had the two young and the dude with the cat that was removable. And Dracula did.
Bram Stoker's Dracula is kind of the one that set up all the vampire powers of entrancing people and blah blah blah.
No, I know.
So
I much prefer the original vampire.
Oh, Bram Stoker, he's the one that brought it into pop culture and made it what it is today.
Yeah.
He's the one who took it from, like, the oral, like, myths and folklore.
He built the story. And everyone else just kind of took it far. And Interview with Vampire and Twilight. And Twilight was just fucking retarded. They turned into elves. Glitter!
As an amateur writer, I'm trying to write a story about a vampire, and it's really hard to like keep original and not rip off Bram Stoker or plenty of the other ones. But I'm freaking trying.
At this point, yeah.
So. I mean, granted, you do have to. I mean, there's gonna be, of course, where you have to call back to it, obviously. But I am trying to keep it as original as possible. I don't want it to be just another, blah blah blah. Granted, it's basically a vampire superhero, so. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Grandpa Exposition.
Isn't that Viper?
Yeah.
That's fine.
I mean, granted, it would make sense that if something like this would happen, you'd go to the top guy, to help you through it. Although I want to live where he lives. I want that house.
It's in San Diego.
Yeah. Although, yeah, you got ghosted, buddy. She's gone. Well, that does remind me when I was in Oregon for my family reunion, we had a beach house that was quite like it was about 300 yards from the beach, which was super cool.
Oh.
Yeah. Graduation ceremony. That's apparently happening at a pool.
Oh, it's probably again some rec center.
Yeah, but yeah.
It is kind of weird that you would have it. Like, is there really like no tennis court or something that you could have done this on? Like, you're gonna do it right next to the pool?
Yeah, Iceman got the. Look, would he still graduate because he was late for the ceremony, or I don't know?
I don't know how that works.
I don't either. Yeah, in the Wizard. Although that is just appearance's sake, it looks like.
What? The graduation?
Yeah, him just appearing in graduation, just come up and be like, "Oh, congratulations."
Yeah.
Yeah. Rio, yep. Yeah. Clearly just that's talk about a boot in the ass. 24 hours later, the Indian Ocean. They got there fast.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much getting on a plane and going to the Indian Ocean and getting, not, at that minute, bam, he took off to get there.
You witness
Like,
a hostile
I
act.
doubt we have much.
No shit! I don't know of any time where if you're been shot at, they'd be like, "Oh no, don't shoot back," and everybody is sweating. Get the AC.
There's no AC. They're on a ship. Like, you think
they had AC in the 70s and the 80s?
Nobody has AC.
Evidently. Yeah, see, that's a reasonable concern for him to have. You want to make sure the guy who's got your back is, you don't want to have to double check.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, like I said, I play a lot of video games. When I play my video games, I like to play with a certain group of people because I know I don't have to watch their flipping backs. Like, I love playing with Sabrina because I know what Sabrina's going to do. I don't have to talk to her about it. I just want to take a moment. That's a great look at an F-14 there. Where's your Rio, buddy? Whatever. Is your Rio going to be sundown again, or is it going to be someone else now? I wonder. I don't remember. Yeah, he clearly just got out of the shower. That's not sweat. That is not sweat. That is clearly you just got out of the shower. Those are bombs.
This is a legit question asked on Google all the time.
Yeah, I saw a purple helmet in the back, so it's clearly not sundown. Spider-Man. Wolfman. Again, you don't get the cool nicknames. You get something kind of a. They'd have launched them by now, I think. If you had bogeys inbound, I think they would have launched the alert fighters by now. Horrible. Yeah. At this point, you would certainly have launched the other fighters by now.
Too bad.
Jink, turn, do something, asshole. The enemy has a lock on you. Do something. And yeah, you got shot down because you didn't do anything. You just sat there. Although I do got to point out, Iceman saying what's been hit. That's actually what a pilot would do because he needs to make. It's like, are you going down? Do you still have my back?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you would have been launched a while ago, buddy. Especially when they had 5. Although there'd be a second plane on the catapults. Those aircraft carriers can launch 3 planes at a time. So and I don't think it's common practice to do an aileron roll as soon as you leave the catapult. Of course you're going after them. They shot down your wingman. 6 of them now. Oh boy, where'd the other one come from? Yep, jink. And that gun sounds very pew pew pew. Gosh, if you're super psyched, you're just gonna blow right by him. Catapults are broke. Of course they're broken. Of course.
Man, Maverick breaks everything.
There he does.
Everything breaks when you need it most. Do something. That missile, no way you would fire a missile at that close. Missile will blow you up. Yeah, at this point, if you're looking at this, you are just a freaking high-speed cheerleader. Yeah. Pay attention, dumbass. Whee! Yeah. And then the same thing happened, what happened to he went into the jet watch, losing control. Yeah, but he gets control back. Okay, we good. Berlin. What happened to the guy who was behind you? He should still be behind you. Yeah. This is why they wouldn't have him go in the air. Everybody's screaming at me. Yeah. Well, it's going to clear off. Whee! Well, this doesn't remind me of worry about the F-15, which you are playing, but yeah, you wouldn't go head to head like that. They would have shot at you, and you would have shot at them.
Yeah.
Whee! Again, very pew 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 sounding gun effect here.
Pew 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 pew.
Yeah. Whee! Of course you. See, at least Iceman knows what the hell he's doing. He can dodge these missiles. Although, granted, that missile was so wide, you didn't have to do anything. It was missing you anyway. Hold on. Okay, remember how I said, yeah. He's now got a mate coming up on his tail, and it's like, I'm not leaving, guys. I'm not leaving my wingman. You're allowed to leave if you're going on defensive. If you have somebody coming up behind you, you leave. Oh my gosh. You're not required to sit there and get your ass shot while you're covering your wingman. Yeah, that would hurt. Although this is where the F-14 showed. Oh god, that was clearly just a smoke canister. But this is where the F-14 did fine. Is like, oh, you lost one engine. I have another one. That's why most fighter pilots have two engines.
Oh.
The F-15, the F-8, the F-A-18, the F-20, the F-22. They all have two engines, specifically for. Oh, I lost one engine. I have another. The only exception is the F-16 and the F-35, which granted the F-35 is more of a bomber, but hey. Break. Yeah, that missile went wide. You didn't have a lock. And a second missile out. That one went right up his tailpipe. Yeah, if he's between your tails, you're dead. He shot you by now. That aileron roll didn't save you. Again, an aileron roll is just turning around. If you haven't moved, he's still gonna hit you. You're gonna do what? I love that save. Again, apparently Maverick invented the Cobra, which, again, only works if you're going at very slow speed. And you would not fire a missile at that close of range because it'd blow you up, too. Yeah, and then apparently the other ones are bailing out.
Good thing, because we're out of missiles.
Yeah, no doubt. And here they come back and landing. Oh, God. It's the same guy! That's the same officer who spilled coffee on himself earlier. He got promoted, apparently.
But does he spill coffee on himself again?
I think so.
No, he's for. Oh!
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh no! Don't drink it, dude!
He didn't spill it all down his shirt this time.
Yeah. He just got on his pants there, so.
I like how they made a big deal of, here's your coffee, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and the guys who got shot down are picked up in an apparently supersonic helicopter because they're here too. That helicopter was booking it. Because if the planes just landed, that helicopter had to have been going.
It was totally safe before, right? As soon as they crashed that.
Yeah, apparently. Ignore, yeah.
Actually right behind them the whole time, just in case that were to happen, they can swoop in and get them.
It was drafting.
Yeah.
And this week, here's this cheesiest part of the movie.
Aww.
Just kiss, you fools! God.
You can always be my wingman.
Oh, yeah. Talk about timing. Perfect timing with the guy. All right.
Nah, gotta do some moody brooding. Goose, I miss you.
Yeah.
Into
Although
the
this is another part that bugs me.
No, he does.
Oh, he does?
This part bugs me.
Oh, damn. This is where Titanic got the idea to do that to the heart of
That's
the
exactly what. Yeah.
No, that bugs me because, remember, Goose had a son.
Yes.
What if the son was like, hey, Mav, I was looking for my dad's dog tags. Do you have them?
Yeah, that's a dick move. I threw them in the ocean as metaphor for me getting over your father's.
Yeah. Dick move.
You're a slacker, McFly.
Yeah.
You'll always be a slacker.
Fighter Town, USA.
It's in San Diego.
Yep. Kansas City in the background there.
Yeah, I see that.
It's everywhere. Use quarters only. Although I guess we should say, if you were to be able to choose your call sign, I'm pretty sure. If you were to be able to. What's up?
No, she legit knocked it over by accident. She was running.
Oh.
And I heard her hit the garbage can.
Did you say so?
Do you remember the sound?
No. Oh man, they're playing his song.
Yep. Well.
Are you going to sing this in karaoke this Friday?
I have to work this Friday, so no. But.
Oh yeah, that's right too.
Yeah. Hey, like I said, my boss is giving me a $150 bonus and a raise and paying for my hotel room when I go on vacation. I think I can deal with putting up for a week or two. Your girlfriend's back. So, although I guess we should mention it. If you were to choose your call sign, what would it be? Would you go with Mercury or?
Probably.
Yeah. Now the fun part is I didn't actually choose Saber for mine. No, I got the nickname. I got the nickname Saber because the notification sound on my phone has always been the lightsaber sound turning on. Okay. So that So as a result, a bunch of my friends just started calling me Saber. No, and here's a fun story. One of my better friends, I always knew him as Cookie because that's what we always called him, Cookie. To the point that 3 or 4 years after knowing him, we're just playing a game, and then just in the middle of the game, he just stops and goes, "What's your real name?" Because he didn't know my real name, and honestly, I didn't know his real name either. Because he knew me as Saber, I knew him as Cookie. That's.
Yeah. That happened in a band a lot.
Yeah.
There were a few people in band that I only knew them by their nicknames, and I had no idea what their real names were because they were all upperclassmen. And so, by the time I got in, they had nicknames, and that's just what everyone called them.
Well, a great example is Sabrina. Her real name isn't even Sabrina. That's just her nickname. So, I'll give you one guess how she got that nickname.
Because she's a witch?
Bingo. Well, she's not a real witch, but yeah.
No, she's it rhymes with witch, but actually starts with a B.
So, all right. So that was Top Gun. Oh man, the next movie that popped up is Strategic Air Command. I've never even heard of that one. So
you can tell what kind of shows you watch compared to what we watch. They wanted me to watch Gifted. I got the.
I watch a lot of military movies, so. So yeah, well, granted, that's a lot of times I just like to go through the recommended playlist on Hulu or whatever, and just because a lot of times it's just you watched Firefly, now watch this shitty version of it.
Yeah, so, I mean, we do that too. Yeah,
although I also do that on YouTube a lot. Just to go through YouTube, look through the recommended page. It's just what? Where did this come from? All right. So yes, that was Top Gun. Final thoughts.
I mean, it's kind of what I expected it to be from a 1980s macho movie.
What?
Yeah, basically, like I mentioned at the beginning, it's basically propaganda. Period. Which should be mentioned that recruitment after this movie came out through the roof.
I'm sure.
Is probably going to happen again when they release the sequel to this because they got a sequel coming out next year-ish. Yep. So, honestly, that's kind of why I decided I wanted to do this.
Which makes sense because they filmed the first one in San Diego. I don't know if they filmed the sequel in San Diego though. I think they did. Yeah,
I do know in the sequel they have because in a lot of the trailers they show Maverick in the plane is taken off. They actually had the actors in the F-A-18s while the F-18s are doing maneuvers and whatever. Because I know for certain that the F-18 has a stick and back that the Rio or Wizzo can take control of the plane.
Okay.
So yeah, like I said, a lot of those were just we have the pilot, we have Tom Cruise, there, but it's not him acting. It's literally you have your blood going to your head or to your feet. Have fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, but now honestly, I was watching a trailer for the sequel, which is why I kind of wanted to do this one. So next week it's your turn.
Okay.
To choose what we watch. Please don't choose anything that's going to make me drink.
So nothing
I don't
from
like that smile. I don't like that smile. I don't like that smile. You just had the most sinister smile I've ever seen. Talk about the canary, the cat that ate the canary smile. That look can only be described as I'm plotting to take up the world. Oh my god. Just like I said, don't choose anything I'm gonna regret. Okay? Oh man. But yeah, seriously, I may rewatch this just to get a screenshot of you just have that evil smile. Oh man, that was perfect. Alright.
My mom's commented how when I was little, I had a laugh that I would do after I would do something evil, and she'd be like, "Oh crap, what did she do now?"
Oh, my mom always knew if I did something bad because I had the quotey shit ass eating grin.
Yeah.
So if I ever had that grin, my mom knew I had gotten in trouble. I had done something wrong. Oh man. Granted, more often than not, she would hear what I did wrong from the teachers and shit versus actually hearing it from me. But oh man, like I said, I was not a good kid in high school. I was a bad kid. So, oh man. Yeah, we should watch a high school movie next. Just a high school musical where I can just go into all the stupid I've done in school.
I mean, there were a lot of fun high school movies that I could pick from. So
yeah, well, like I said, you got fair choice. I'll let you choose pretty much whatever you want, so long as it's not something that's gonna make me want to kill myself. So
no,
so yeah, all right. Anything else you want to say before we turn off?
No, I got nothing.
Yeah, all right. We will see you guys next time. So yeah. All right. Stop stream. Yeah.